Wolf Folk too. Hey everybody, welcome back to Mel's Board Game Room. We are live at FallCon 37 and we are doing a top 9 abstract strategy game. Let me bring my co-host with me today. So I have Dave from therathole.ca and we're doing top 9 abstract strategy game.
Woo!
I've prepared the presentation, so I have an idea. Mind you, my memory is horrible, so it might be just as new to me as it is to you at this point.
And it's been a very long day, so it's like,
already, like
it might be new to me.
Yeah. But
What order did I put things in?
I don't. We'll have to rely on the presentation. I'm
Yes,
gonna have to
yeah.
rely on the presentation. So
I'm
yeah.
going to as well, because nothing else, my notes are on my phone, which is like
Which is a camera.
right here as
Yeah.
a camera.
So Dave, tell me, how did you put your list together?
It depended on what it was. First I kind of went, okay, what are the abstract strategy games I have, which is a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went, okay, what is... Sometimes it was what is newer would float higher to the top. Stuff that was actively older or harder to get a hold of might go farther down to the bottom. My number one was never in doubt.
Yeah, no, for me too. I knew which one I wanted as my number one.
And my
which
number
I don't even
two
remember
is also
which one it is now.
My
Oh, yeah,
number
I
two was
remember
also
it.
not actually a surprise either.
Okay, and then I had one that I knew I wanted in my list, so I kind of manipulate. I use Pub Meeple
Okay.
for doing that, which honestly makes like making a list and then let's put it in 100 steps. Because they'll show like between this game and this game, which one do you like best? And you pick this one.
Yeah.
Okay, between this game and this game, which one do you like best? Which, if it's a smaller list, it's not so bad. It'd be like 64 comparison for like a dozen games. But I did my top 100 that way too. That takes all day. But I think it's a good way of making the list.
It's fair, yeah.
Yeah. So, which is also, by the way, the reason why I always do top 9.
Yeah.
Because Pub Meeple will then allow you to take a picture of the top 9 in a 3x3 grid.
Oh.
So if you do 10, where's the 10th gonna go? So I do top 9. That's the whole reason.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah. Okay. So, shall we get started?
Yes. Let's.
Let us. So let's click on here to make sure we do the presentation there. Oh, I can see it from here.
You
so
can
that's
see it
good.
there.
Perfect.
I can see it here, and you can see it, and everyone can see it there, except they're seeing it there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's gonna be like.
It's in our backgrounds, but it's also, not.
Okay. All right. It's both a background.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Can everyone
All
hear
right.
us both okay? I just want... Hopefully.
Oh yeah, if you can, if it's, yeah. I actually am looking at the comment this time all weekend long. I have been ignoring comments because I'm playing here and the comments are here.
Yeah.
But I'm facing this way, so I will be, Austin says the sound is good, so that's
Awesome.
perfect.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna start. Now, we said we're doing a top 9, but we've each picked an honorable mention, so it's turning to be a top 10. And Dave, we're gonna do you first. So,
All right.
Do you remember which one your honorable mention is?
Yes, because I had 2 honorable mentions, but
You
it's good
swapped
that I knew which one. No, I still had 2 honorable mentions, even having swapped that. This will be interesting.
But who knows what's on the list? It might not even be what he sent.
Exactly. Well, this one was this is the one I had on my list and moved. It's Zuliwood. This is another Zuliwood. So this
like
is one,
Hollywood, but zoo.
Exactly. This is one of the games that came off of my list and was where it was on my list because of availability.
Oh.
Because it's a Canadian publisher. It's
Nice.
but they do a lot of toys. So when you see the components,
Oh, let's go see the components.
which we can see.
It is freaking adorable.
This is what we call a segue. So it is as you said, it is freaking adorable. But they do art toys now.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
like this sort of thing, like they'll do like the Scream, but a whole bunch with different themes. They've got a whole collection of Mr. Otter. They do have a couple of other games. Glyph Chess is their other big game, which the components on that are massive. Like this, But the other thing that took this down on my list is the cute penguins.
Yeah.
Isn't a wonderful theme.
Yeah.
Cute penguin actors competing at an audition is not.
Is it
like
stretching for you? Is that a bit of a stretch?
It's irrelevant. It's not even a stretch. It's just that it is unnecessary. Cute penguins, stop. Adding in the filming thing is just like this is unnecessary.
Okay. Does it matter, the filming? Does it affect the gameplay?
So not at all. It's just how they basically have worded it in some of the cards.
Well, I mean,
that are in the
because
game.
then you couldn't call it Zollywood.
They could, but they just they wouldn't have to. They could change something else. But this is a game that could use any theme.
Okay.
Any theme at all, or none.
Honestly, that's kind of definition of an abstract
strategy
game.
Exactly. They put the penguin theme on it, and then put another theme on top of that. And they could have just
they should have gone like,
I just stopped at penguins.
Musical Hollywood. No.
But it's adorable. As you move, you're dropping eggs. You're trying to. It's just a cute game.
What's the goal?
It is. I forget.
Do you remember?
This is also a game. I did not review this myself. I played it with one of my other writers.
Right.
She owned it.
Yeah.
And she actually recently they had a kid.
I liked it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's the other thing it's like this is a great, fun game. I'm like, hey, do you still have this game? I would have bought it from her if she still had it.
Oh, she did it.
But she had passed along to one of her family members because they were clearing some space for babies and whatnot.
Fair.
But it is a game that I'm like, okay, great. I know she has it. I can always play it. This is not a problem.
Nice.
Clearly, I'm wrong there.
No,
But yeah.
You gotta be friends with me. I almost never get rid of my games.
Exactly.
Very little.
She did not have the space. But yeah.
So that's because she's in a different spurs. Like she's getting kids. Mine are moving out.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's like, really? So another bedroom, you say?
Exactly. So
Nice.
she's been pretty busy and working day jobs. And
Perfect.
So that's my honorable mention is Zoolywood.
Zoolywood. It looks so cute.
It so is. Oh my goodness. And it is a legitimately good game.
Yeah.
As well. So that's the neat thing there.
Perfect. So
what's yours?
My honorable mention. You know what was really cool about my honorable mention is you could buy it at Dollarama for $5.
Nice.
And I bought it, and it was made by Bicycle, like the
card company.
Yeah. So I was like, but for $5. And okay, first of all, this game looks amazing when you put it together.
Okay.
So you have these cards that you add, and then you can kind of overlap or tuck along, but you can't, you gotta have things matching up.
Yeah.
And then as you kind of create these connections, you can, because you randomly start with a certain number of these diamond-shaped gems. And the goal is to get rid of them.
Okay.
But they don't all fit on the board, so you want to get rid of yours before you get blocked out.
Yeah.
Because if you're blocked out, you won't be able to get rid of them. You have to keep them, and it's negative points to have them stuck on yours, right? So, but it's just so pretty as you're adding the whole, and it looks 3D and in its bright colors, it looks amazing. And it is a neat, interesting, puzzly game as well. And then depending on, I was like, okay, well, I'm not have to worry about yellow because I have almost no yellow diamonds, and maybe that's the only connection you can make.
Yeah.
Right? There's that aspect going on as well. And for $5.
Can't lose for $5.
I bought so many copies of this one, and I was giving away as Christmas. You know what? I would make board game baskets.
Ooh.
So you put a couple of
She's so crafty.
$5 games in there, and then snacks, and it's here's a game evening as a gift.
Yeah.
But if put a couple of cheaper games in there, then it's love it. This one super neat, super fun, but it didn't make my list. So.
Which speaks well of everything that did make her list.
Yeah, but yeah, Crystallized, I think it was just so cool and so attainable. So, and then there's one thing I like. Okay, it's crazy that you have all these amazing board games at Dollarama, but I love how it's making board game hobby so attainable to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Because who's not going to try it for $5?
Yeah.
Right? So that was my honorable mention, Crystallized. All right, so now we're going to go into our actual list, and we're at number 9. And I don't know if you remember your number 9, so I can just jump.
I remember my number 9. Go ahead and go.
Because I might not have followed your list.
I'm pretty sure it is Mouse Guard. Swords and
Yes.
Strongholds.
That one looks interesting. Okay, first of all, the artwork is pretty.
Yes.
Like, that's super neat.
So I'm going to say, if there's anything on my list at the very least, really on either of our lists, because there's a giant board game library there, but if there's anything you see on my list especially, I have them all right here.
I did not bring
and
any
we
of
can
them.
play. We,
Yeah,
well,
we
not
can play
right
them
now,
later.
but we
Yeah.
can play them later. We're both here all weekend. We're both streaming stuff all weekend.
Yeah, we should try to play some.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's one game which I'm almost certain they will have there that I don't have my copy of here. But other than that,
see, yeah.
this one is adorable though.
It looks like a mouse Lancelot.
Yeah, and the Mouse Guard came from comics and then became a role-playing game.
Okay.
And
okay.
they pulled the designers of the role-playing game, Burning Wheel, into design the mechanics of this game.
Nice.
The game itself comes
have a
from
look.
In-World. So in the comics. So this is.
It looks cute. Okay,
Yeah.
there was a lot of different versions of it too. I picked this one.
Yep, that's pretty more or less
It's a
the
deluxe
same.
one.
Yeah, there's not a
But-
lot of difference. The difference is basically probably going to be what those mice are.
Right.
In the comics, the mice are made of like basically walnuts,
Oh, cute.
and so the texture on those mouse pieces
Yeah.
is like
Like a walnut.
when you were in kindergarten. Did you ever make a mouse, a little craft mouse out of a walnut shell?
I don't remember.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, that's what this is ears and a nose and a tail stuck onto a walnut shell is what it's supposed to look like.
Assassin's Creed for
And then
mice.
Yeah. Redwall, if you've ever seen the cartoon Redwall, it's a very similar vibe there, just better art.
Okay.
But your goal is to create a stronghold in one of the far corners opposite you, so your opponent's corners. Movement all happens along the lines and the intersections, not in the squares. There are cards in there. There's 3 different types of cards. There's swords, which allow you to move more, which could let you push your opponent off of the board
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and capture them. There's diplomacy, which lets you take people out of strongholds. I think it actually lets you bring your characters back that have been captured and pushed off the board.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then stronghold, which puts you into one of the squares.
Okay.
And at that point, no one can move in any of the adjacent intersections. So it's a block, but that's how you get into to end the game.
Okay.
Is you get up to those far corners and move into a stronghold.
Okay.
Again, very
Okay.
simple. I pulled this one out to remind myself because it's been a few years since I played it.
Yeah.
And I got to do a board game event, so I'm like, yeah, cool. Everybody wanted it. I think the host store, I think, is going to try and bring in some copies of it.
Oh, fun.
Because it's
it's nice when you play a game. It's like, okay, where? Because I want
Yeah,
one.
and we had a
Yeah.
couple of adults, we had a couple of kids. They're like, Dad, you got to
Oh,
do
fun.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's simple.
If my kids ask for a game, I always say yes.
Yeah.
Because it's rare.
Exactly.
For one, right? So if you can get them engaged and yeah. For that reason alone, I have Terraria coming. But yeah, not abstract strategy game.
Yeah,
though.
no, not so much.
This one looks super cool, and it's very neat.
Yeah. So the big difference, like I said, is going to be those mouse components. The board is got some paint in the intersection lines, I think, and it's a different box. But that's
So I
more.
like
That's
the
still more or
mouse
less
in
what you're seeing.
Narnia. Oh, and then Austin commented, I didn't realize Dollarama had board games. Actually, they do.
They do
Not lots at once, but they'll have like different ones coming out, and all of a sudden they have that one till they don't, and then
Yeah.
because they've had Downforce was one of the first big ones that I
Yeah.
saw. Downforce. I paid it secondhand $30, and I was excited. $5 at Dollarama, so I bought a bunch again for my. But yeah, no, definitely it's worth looking into. So that was Mouse Guard.
Swords and strongholds.
Really cool. Okay, so my number 9, I'm gonna bring it up. Oh yeah, Framework. Framework is cool.
Okay.
I bought this one because I wanted another game and I couldn't find the other game. It was out of print or it was just not readily available, but I found this one which plays very similar. So it's really cool. With this one here, what you're going is you're gonna have tiles. And on your turn, you're gonna draw a tile and add it to your tableau that you're building. And you're trying to create clusters of frames because some tiles, as you can see on there, will have like a number in a color. And if you get a cluster of frame that match that colored number with frames equaling that number, you can put one of your token on it. And the goal is to be the first one to get rid of all your tokens. But you know, it's like sometimes it's one of those games that you see the tiles that, okay, I really want that one. Don't take it, don't take it, don't take it. Until your turn comes around and somebody took it. And it's like, oh, Okay, now, but a new tile comes out every time anyways, right? So it's super simple, but it is super interesting to play. And then where are you going to put it? It's like, okay, well, I'm starting to work on some gold over here, so I could put that over there, works towards the gold. But then turns out, like, there was also green on here, and now I've built all this green. If this had been here, I would have scored it already, you know? So it's interesting, and the decision of which tile to take, where to place it, to pay attention to try to build, and then be the first one to get rid of all of your tokens. It's quick, it's easy to teach, it's easy to play, but you know, it keeps you interested in what you got to do. So that was my number 9, and that is Framework. Have you played this one?
I have not.
Oh my god, we gotta play Framework sometime. Right. Yeah, they probably have it at the library here, but I think we're gonna run out of time.
Probably. we do have 2 cameras going on here, but we're at the same table.
So we're looking at each other.
And we're looking at each other, and we're looking like down at the. She's like motioning on the table out of just talking with the hand.
There's nothing on this table. I'm French.
we're both just focused on this nothing in the table.
You're looking at where I'm putting.
It's like
I didn't even notice I was doing it, but the game is happening here.
Exactly, it's happening in our heads.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. Yes, I am totally doing that. But that was my number 9, Framework. So now we're gonna go to our number 8. And I don't know if you remember your number 8, so I
think I do, but go ahead and hit the button.
Right, this one looks cool.
Oh, Rue, yes. So Rue. There's a couple of versions of this box. The box, I have a different box. It was kind of like almost a hard leather covered one.
Neat. Yeah.
But this is a small publisher out
How big is this box about? Oh, he has it, of course. Oh, you have it upside down. Okay, I do like this box.
Yeah.
Oh, I do like this box a lot. I like this one with the colors.
Yeah, like that's very
Okay.
nice. I mean, the only downside to this box is because it doesn't. This version of the box doesn't go all the way down like a normal board game box, so I have to have an elastic on it. But that's okay.
Let's have a look at this one.
So Binary Cocoa does mostly abstract strategy games.
Okay, yeah.
And they're a small publisher out of Idaho.
Okay.
I meet them when I go down to SaltCon.
Nice. Yes.
Where the Iron Awards are held and everything down just outside Salt Lake City. And so you can kind of see how the movement goes on this graphic here. You start with 4 tokens of your color, and you move by jumping other tokens.
Your own, as
your
well
own,
as
others.
Now, white,
or neutrals.
are they neutral? Okay,
whites are neutral. So what you do is you have what's called a tracer. So you have black stones that you will put to mark out your movement, mostly so you can plan it.
Okay.
And that does not mean you're stuck doing it until you've made the move.
Yeah.
And then everywhere one of those tracers gets replaced with those white neutrals.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which then changes, because again, you have to jump something to move, and you can double jump, triple jump, right? You can jump
on that black spot in the middle.
And the goal is to jump over, in one move, you must jump over an opponent, not one of the neutrals.
Right.
Jump over an opponent and land on one of those center spots.
Nice. That seems interesting.
You can also just eliminate your opponent. When you get in, just by jumping over and taking all their stuff.
So if you jump over, it removes them?
Yep.
This is that last game we just played all over again.
A little bit. And because, like I said, everywhere you jump, it changes where you can move and how you can move. You can play it up to 4 players.
Okay.
So you have that add some chaos. You could also play team 2v2.
Oh, okay, nice, yeah.
And the other neat thing, if you have too long of a move, for every 5 tracers that you put down,
okay,
instead of white neutrals,
right,
you get 1 more of your tokens that you can place anywhere in your quadrant of the board. Yes, that's more options to move.
Right, okay, perfect. That's good.
Yeah, so
nice.
It's really neat. It sounds fairly simple. It is fairly simple, but getting it in your head is weirdly difficult sometimes.
Nice.
So yeah, and that's really the only reason this is as far down as it is on the list is, again, availability.
Nice.
I love the game. It was when I first reviewed it, I said this may have just taken over my number 1 spot, and for a while it did, because it's so good. The components, it's a neoprene mat. It's glass beads that they've etched.
Oh, cool.
And they do all of this either in-house directly or as local as possible.
Nice.
They do everything they can as local as they can.
That's nice. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
The epitome of a small press company.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's really cool.
that's
And it looks really neat.
Binary Cocoa is the
And
company, and
that's
they're absolutely fabulous.
Perfect. Now, Cyborg T100 says, "What do you mean you're going to run out of time? It's only 1 a.m." So where is he?
Mark is in the UK.
He's in. Oh, okay. I was gonna say
yeah.
no, it's not. We're gonna run. And then there's a lot that we've got lined up too already. Anyways,
exactly. Like she's actually, unlike me, she's got a giant schedule.
And then we've been playing in between that anyways. This is the official schedule plus what we fit in between.
Exactly.
Now somebody was asking, how long is the average game of Rue?
There isn't one.
Okay.
It's really hard to say what the average is because every different variant is
so
different.
Quick, yeah.
So different player count
What's
wildly changes it.
What's been the longest you've played?
Half hour, 40 minutes, I think.
Okay.
It's not going to be a couple hours.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You're guaranteed under an hour.
Nice.
At worst.
Perfect.
And that's like playing a multiplayer elimination game kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. My number 8. I forget what it is, so we'll have to go and see together. It is Boop.
Boop.
Okay. Cute. I didn't think cute matters, and honestly, it really doesn't, because I like some really ugly games. But when a game is cute, that really helps it along. And you flip the board upside down or whatever, and then you get a little mattress that you put on top of
quilt.
it. So let me show you.
It's a quilt.
It's a little quilt, yeah. And it has this grid on it. And on your turn, you're going to be adding a kitten onto it. Now, if you put a kitten next to another kitten, it'll boop the kitten over in the direction that's kind of go. Now, you boop yourself as well, which I always forget. I always forget. But you can also boop another kitten off the bed.
Yep.
And the goal is you're trying to get, is it 3 or 4?
You need 3 kittens in a row, and then you take those, and they get removed from the game. You get 3 full-grown adult cats.
No, you get 1.
Or
1. 3, and then you get 1. I played with Roberta Taylor, unless she taught me wrong.
I feel like it's supposed to be 3.
No, because it's get 1, and then the goal is you're trying to get 3 adult kittens in a row.
But you have 8
win.
and 8. You have 8 kittens and 8 cats.
Yeah.
I think. Well, we will double check that.
Not today. Well, not during this. Oh, do you have it? Okay.
Of course I have it.
We'll double check it. I'll talk about it. Pretty sure the 3 kittens trade into 1 adult cat.
So
but we'll double check.
I'm not going to turn it upside down. Yes, I will. We're going to go like this. So the other thing on that picture it's hard to see is actually that's a bed skirt. So
that is so cute.
So you can see the quilt on top, and then the box itself is a little bed skirt. So you're using it on top.
The attention to details is so cool on this one, and it is so neat. But then you're placing these kittens and these cats. Now, if you place a kitten next to an adult cat, the cat doesn't boop because it has more weight than the kitten. So there's that to consider, and you're trying to manipulate them and to put them by trying to get 3 in a row.
It's all 3.
All 3 becomes adult cats?
All 3 become adult cats.
Roberta. And she won. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think there may have been like a prototype set of rules that
Could
did
have
that
been,
because
right?
I had that in my head at one point as well.
Okay.
If you also make a line that's got like 2 kittens and an adult,
does that still?
You take them all. The 2 kittens still graduate. It's still 3 in a row.
So just getting 3 of your own cats in a row become. Now,
but
what's
the
the
goal is to
win?
get 3 adult cats in a row.
So they don't go in all where they were.
No,
then.
they come off the board.
Yeah.
Graduate, so the kittens go away.
So, but you just have
you still have the 8 pieces. You have to place them.
Oh,
and a cat,
maybe we did play that way.
A cat.
I don't know.
Will boop a cat. A cat will boop a kitten. A kitten is too small to boop a full-grown cat.
Yeah.
If you've ever watched cat videos online, you know what a kitten trying to boop an adult goes. And if you haven't,
but it's so
I don't
cute,
trust you as a human.
the artwork. Now, there's other variation of this game. They have a
2 of them.
Halloween one, and they have a Christmas one that just came out. And honestly, I don't own this one, but I want it. It's on my wish list. I'm just need to find it because it hasn't been super easy to find lately.
The original Boop sold. It is their bestseller. It is Smirk and Dagger's bestseller by far.
Yeah, I see why.
Yeah, retailers are saying, I've already pre-sold everything I ordered. Can you get more? He was having to get extra shipments.
Yeah.
I told him, every reprint you do, you need to do a different mat, like a different
that'd be
quilt.
Cool. No, but then people would buy them just to get different quilts, and then I would get a copy.
Yes.
Wait till I get my copy.
Spooky Boop, which the Halloween version is called Boop. colloquially it was called Spooky Boop. That one sold out.
Does it play the same?
It mostly. So all the same mechanics hold, and then there's a ghost cat that moves along the seams and scares the kittens away.
That's cute. Not the adult cats, just the kittens.
And the adult cats.
Okay.
So it's a little, if I remember right.
Okay, that is interesting.
And it is a
now
different quilt and it's different cats.
Without that, and then just play regular Boop with the. I'll just try to look for that one,
the cats in that, one of them has a little witch hat and one of them has a pumpkin.
Right, yeah, I think it is a pumpkin. Super cute.
And then the Christmas one is Boop the Halls, and it's the box comes in and it's three-tiered. It's a tree.
Oh yeah, okay.
But and so the
But
rules
you know
are
what?
the same.
The cats will climb in the tree all the time.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's thematic.
And so, but because of 3D, but you still play it as if it is 2D.
Oh, that would make it so hard.
It makes it a lot harder to necessarily see where everything is.
Oh.
They also came out with 2 mini expansions, an Ebenezer Scrooge and
We're getting your
something
picture
else. Hey! I forget there's 2 of them. They are supposed to be sending me both these because, of course, I do a Christmas review series every year.
Tons of Christmas.
So I will have that. Spooky Boop, though, when they brought that out,
you said it sold out right away?
It sold out before open because the vendors were coming in. Now, they had split it up by days, but they went, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
And they actually end up shipping more in during the convention.
Oh, wow.
And limiting how many.
Gen Con?
Yeah, this is a Gen Con last year.
Yeah.
And they're like, vendors, I'm sorry, you guys can't have it early now. Or they had like 5 early copies or something small like that. But it was just, this has been wildly popular for them.
It's just so good.
It really is.
Are there any kittens that are jerks, Element?
All of them.
Yeah, honestly. I have a turtle, I don't have cats. A turtle's not a jerk.
My former partner has a cat. He's a jerk.
Sounds good. Okay, so that was Boop. Oh, that was my number.
That was yours.
8. Yeah.
That was your number 8. Was
Perfect.
Boop.
Yeah, my number 8 was Boop. Perfect. So now we're going into number
7.
And Dave, your number 7 is
Suro. So this is the one that I don't have my copy of. It's at my sister's house.
It has to be here though.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is this next year or 2026. Within the next 2 years, this is like, I think it's its 20th or 25th anniversary.
So probably
it's a big anniversary edition. It spawned 2 sequels, Suro of the Seas and Suro Rise of the Phoenix, that have slightly different mechanics but are basically the same.
Yeah.
This game pushes the definition of abstract strategy, but you play a tile and your piece that you can see on the screen moves to the end of the path.
Yeah.
You always must place a tile that extends your own path, but that may extend someone else's path.
Yeah.
The goal is to be the last player on the board.
Yes.
So you eventually want to, and it is inevitable that we or a flushing sound, depending on what kind of group you're playing. There's always some kind of sound effects that happen as you're moving down the path and moving your opponent down the path and off the board.
Yeah. This will play a lot of people too.
Yeah, it goes
it's kind of nice.
8,
I think so. Yeah, there's a lot of different little stones.
And they're really cute. They look like stones. This version that you got on there has
like a
painted it's a dragon. And those ones are printed. The version I have is old.
Yeah, I have the original. It's engraved.
Yeah.
But there's no paint behind. I guess I could paint, but I'm not going to.
When it was first out, I was showing it off. I just happened to have a copy and was playing it at the store, and their copy was missing. It had gotten reshelved somewhere wrong.
No.
Or they had a copy in stock, and this customer that I just played with said, "Hey, I want to go buy this game." Couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm like, this copy is basically new.
Yeah.
So the store sold them my copy, and then replaced it when they found it whatever it had happened.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely one. Was like, okay, I want this.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that you can play multiple games in a row. It is so simple.
Yeah.
You could play honestly any age. Like this would be a good way to introduce your children. Mind you, they might get into like, you bump me out. But that's a good way of teaching them to lose as well.
Exactly. And sometimes you can't help it, really.
No. Well, sometimes it'd be like, great, the only tiles I have available and the only thing I can do makes both of us lose. And,
the game is rigged.
Oh, it's
You
rigged.
you cannot have more than one person at the end.
Yeah, no.
It does not physically allow it.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful and glorious.
Just super cool.
There's also the app is not bad. I haven't played the app in a while, but there is a mobile app for this as well.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm more tactile.
Me too. Since I started doing more streams, again talking over here, since I've done more streams, I've been doing more app stuff. So like pulled the Starfinder app out, or Starfinder, Star Realms.
Star Realm apps is good.
Yeah,
I will say that one I have played.
It was 10 years ago. It was not so good. It was buggy.
Oh, 10 years.
It's this 10th anniversary for Star Realms.
Wow. And they had an app from the get-go?
All pretty close. I think it was 8 years ago so I guess it would be 8 years ago, when I did it was my first ever video review.
That's cool.
Back when I was the old site that I used to be on.
Yeah.
I basically, there was a tournament at Sentry Box here in Calgary.
Nice.
I couldn't play on the app. I wanted to do that, but I was like, great. I don't know anything about this game. I've never played it before. I'm going to go do a tournament.
About a game that's not even on our list now. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Moving on.
All right.
You can watch that on my channel. Probably.
How do I even get on that? Oh, the app.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 7 is Othello.
Okay.
Now I am adding this is the one that I said I don't care. I want this one on my list.
Fair.
This game is old.
Very.
This game is old. I think a lot of people kind of had them growing up, so that
I definitely did.
Really going out of their way to play it anymore. Really, you know what I mean? It's not a game that you would gravitate to. But I had a game day with a bunch of my friends and their kids. And one of the girls said, "Oh my God, you have Othello? That's a blast from the past." And she pulled it down and played it with her son. Then her son played it with the other kid. And then the other kid played it with the other kid. And then they played it back with the son. And he's like, "Mom, where do we get this game? We need this game." And just to go and show how some games have so much staying power. It might lose a bit of the spark with us if we've overplayed it. But do make a point of introducing them to new players because they are so cool. They are so great, and this one is one of those.
Yes, and at the time, the design was fascinating because you can see the edges of the image there.
This is the copy I have. Like it holds all
same. It's got a little. Yeah, it's got a little
felt
shield that rolls over the.
And I was like.
A little shield that goes over. You can see the edge. You can see the edge of it on there, but the plastic covers over.
Indent. It holds it all up.
Yeah. Felt
and
on the
what you're gonna
path.
do, because you start with 4 tiles in the middle, 2 white, 2 black. It's a 2-player game.
Yeah.
And as you add a color, if you have any of the other color between 2 of your color, you get to flip that color into your own, and then the other player will do as well. And then at the end of the game is whoever has more of their own color showing is the winner. So it's another simple game, but it is so thinky and satisfying to play. But I was so impressed at how much these kids loved it, and they were like, "We need to find this game. I want a copy. Like, oh my God, this game is so good."
Yeah.
And like they're 12, like 10 to 12 years old so. I think it was just a good reminder to bring out those old classics, just because mostly the abstract strategy game, they just don't go out of style.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, okay, this feels aged now. Not those ones.
No.
So
unless it's intended to, because some are.
True.
That's the joy of this.
But yeah, so that was my number. I don't even remember 7. Number 7.
And that way, if I were to extend out my honorable mention, that would have been that. That
would have been on there. Yeah.
There's that handful of these are really, 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 really old games that make Othello look new. That are just classic, and this was definitely one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Perfect. So that was our number 7.
Yep.
Okay, great. So now we're gonna go to number
6.
And Dave, your number 6 is
drum roll.
Oh yes.
Onitama.
Yes. So good.
So again, this is a very simple game to learn to play.
Yeah.
There's only ever going to be 5 groups of moves that you can make.
Yeah.
And they are groups.
But it changes from game to game, which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you've got 5 cards will get dealt out of more than 5, each with its own set of moves on it. When I choose which move I take, I'll make that move, take the card, put it between the 2 players, and take the card that was there, so that now I still have 2 cards. And my card is now in the middle. My opponent will take that card with those moves after they make their move. So then they make their move, they take the card I just used, and so the 5 just keep rotating through.
Yes.
So you not only are thinking about what you have to play, but you always know not only what your opponent can do, but what the result of your move gives them access to.
Yeah.
There's also then 2 expansions. There we go.
Showing the game. There you go.
So it's a beautiful neoprene mat.
Yes.
Lovely, not resin, but
I don't know. It's a really neat
plastic.
material.
Yeah, it's soft plastic.
It's soft plastic. Yeah, it's cool.
There's a master and for students.
Yeah.
You can see the shrine, which is the space the master starts on, center at the back. You can win in the way of the stone, which is to capture the other
temple?
master.
Okay,
and the way of the stream, which is to capture the other temple.
Yeah.
And by moving your master into it.
That's right. Yeah.
Very, very simple. There's the Way of the Wind is one of the expansions that adds another component in there that moves around and causes some chaos.
Nice.
And Light and Dark. There's another one that gives you some hidden movement stuff as well.
Cool. That's interesting.
And
because it is so neat to be like, I can see what you can do. I can see what you can't do. But if you take that, like, it would change the game so much. Nice.
There's also the first expansion was actually Sensei's Path, which is just cards. And the cards just fit really well in this case. And this case, so you can flip on to the next one.
Let's go back to the,
So this is...
It's a long
It's like a tube.
With the magnet close. I love that.
And so it's almost like a chest, or like if it's holding an ancient scroll type of a thing. It's great. It looks great on your shelf.
Yes.
It is a bit awkward to transport.
Sure.
Depending on what you do. Like I can't just throw it in like a messenger bag. Okay. Right? It's kind of thick because it's going to be double what most games are.
True.
But it's also not as but it's not as wide, right? So if you've got a bunch of games that all fit nicely together,
that's the
and then
game
you've got
you carry in your hand, and then people can see, like, look, I play on
that's not a deal breaker by any stretch.
No. You know which one was almost 2 games I almost didn't buy because of their shape?
Yeah.
Concordia.
Okay.
Because it was just too big. And Bear vs. Baby, because why are you putting fur on a box? But other than that...
You hate park life. Got it.
Okay, so now this game I want to point out is really great because I introduced my mom to this one not too long ago because one of her grandchild loves chess.
Yeah.
Loves chess, but it's beyond my mom's grasp. So she tries to play chess with him because he loves it, but she can't grasp. There's too much going on. And I was like, play this one then. He will love it just as much, but you will be able to follow along and kind of, maybe you won't win, but you'll be able to play.
Yeah.
And I thought that would just be the great way of matching those 2 extreme into a game that works.
I've done the same thing, not for the same reason, and they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But part of what they love about chess is the theory of being able to move, like plan a little bit more differently. English. But I agree. If you've got a kid who plays chess and you can't, this is definitely a great option for that.
Definitely. Okay, that's wonderful. That was your number 6.
And what is your number 6?
My number 6, surprise to everybody.
Drum roll.
Oh yeah, Oli. It's what is it called? Like the Festival of Color. Mm-hmm. Now, first of all, I bought this. I don't own this one. I bought this as a Christmas gift or birthday gift for my friend, and we played it. But it was really interesting. First of all, let me show you the board.
Yeah.
Because it's tri-level.
Ooh.
Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you're trying to spread your colors out, and then certain things can make you go up a level. Because you have like this little, I don't know if it's like a bird, like one of them is a peacock.
I was going to say, you guys, so these are transparent levels.
Yeah, the levels are transparent. Then you have your color tokens, and then you have your character that will move up and down, and you're trying to spread the color. And then it's whoever has the most color. And I think the different levels scores at different points. Okay. I've only got to play it the one time, but I thought this one was such like a visually striking game.
Yeah.
That was really interesting in the concept
I
of it.
want to try this.
Yeah, and it looks so good. It looks cool. At first, I was like, I don't know, like it looks a little gimmicky, but I was trying to find. I wanted something that was pretty and interesting to play.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's get this one. Let's try it, and it was so good. It was so good. So I need to find another copy because that was like the last copy they had at the store. I love gifting games for birthdays and Christmas, but if it's a game I don't own, I have a
It's hard.
hard time
It's
with
hard.
it. But yeah, no, this one was super interesting, and it was kind of a unique mechanism that I hadn't really seen with that 3D concept as well. So that one was super cool, and that was Holi, the Festival of Color. All right, so now we're halfway through.
We're halfway through already.
Yeah, we're just going right by because we're at 40 minutes. Now, I'm live streaming on Instagram as well. That one stops after an hour. So if we go over, you'll
It'll
have
cut
to
out.
kind of go find us either on Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, but we are now on number 5.
Yes.
And Dave, your number 5 is?
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
So that what you're sage. This is sage stones.
Because I couldn't find a box.
There isn't one.
That's why I couldn't find a box.
So this is the deluxe version that you got up here.
And I have another picture of the other one.
Cool.
Do you want
So
me to
this
show
version,
that?
we'll hold
Okay.
on. So this version is that's a wooden board with inset other woods, and then engraved art. And on the back side of it, they have all of the rules to the engraved.
Nice.
You can see there that little envelope with an actual wax seal has the instructions in it if you want another copy of it.
Nice.
And then it's got a picture bevel in the back. It is designed to come out of the wrap or shipping or whatever you've got it
Right.
in and put it on your wall.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Okay, I see
And
what you mean, yeah.
Gorgeous. And then the basic version,
Okay, let's go look at that one.
big giant air quotes on the word basic.
See, this one was like a scroll.
Yeah, this is a leather scroll. So the rules,
That's so
you
cool.
maybe you get the envelope version, but in the one of those zippered scroll ends of the scroll, you've got the rules all rolled up.
Oh,
The other
okay.
one holds all the components.
Oh, okay, cool.
Unlike a lot of abstract strategies, now again, it's bordering on other things mechanically, but I'll come back to that in a second. A lot of them are two-player games. This one has to be kind of adapted to play with 2 players, where you kind of have to play 2 different colors worth of pieces, so that to get the same feel. It
You're
is
liking
best
the
played.
deluxe copy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is nice because this is easy to carry. So when I
Oh, you have it right. Oh, okay, it does look good.
so like this is small, right? So I can carry this.
it looks like the Slytherin.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of different colors, but it's like, and it just unrolls like that,
Nice.
and it's beautiful, it's
And
gorgeous.
everything's in like at the end.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
this is
super cool.
TNT Laserworks is not a game company per se. They do mostly game components. So this is their first actual game.
Which is pretty much a component.
Yeah.
Turn game. Yeah. I love
Exactly.
it. Yeah, that's super cool. That looks amazing.
So what you're doing is you will roll 3
Yeah, we haven't even
D3s.
talked about
Yeah,
the
we haven't
game
talked
yet.
about the games. It looks so good. You're rolling 3 D3s. It's a D6
Okay.
that are labeled 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, perfect.
If you,
I was like, it doesn't look like okay, but yeah.
and then you will take one of your colored stones. You will put it on somewhere in that column.
Okay,
If you roll doubles or triples, I guess, you get to go again.
okay.
If you roll 1, 2, 3 sequence, you lose your turn,
Oh, okay.
which makes 6 a little bit harder to get.
Right? Oh,
But if
right.
you fill up anything else, it defaults to being a 6.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And it is a bit like Othello in that you want to cap your opponent. So you're trying.
Oh.
If you place your pieces on either end of your opponents, every one of those pieces comes off the board and it goes back to your opponent rather than you capturing them.
Yeah.
The goal is to get rid of all of your pieces. So obviously giving it back is a detriment. The sides of the board, Pac-Man rules, they wrap around.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And,
okay, yeah.
diagonals are legit. So you could play a diagonal 1, 2, however many, across both sides of the board, which is a real brain burner.
It would be like it's like oh my god. Yeah.
But it's for a game that you're rolling dice for,
yeah.
that is so inherently luck-based, it's really thinky.
Yeah.
Like you're looking and going, You literally have one row you can put stuff, and you have to decide where is going to be least beneficial to my opponents because it'll play up, I think, up to 8 players, or
Oh,
six,
really?
six or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah.
So again, this is not a big place for that.
Yeah.
And this is one I would love to get a chance to crack in with you.
That is a beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful one. And the dice kind of makes it an interesting
Yeah,
element.
exactly. Like it's just, it's unique. It's simple. I played it with a 5-year-old who strategically had some issues, but can still play. You can still roll the dice. They can still understand. I want to put it in this row.
Yeah.
They might just need a little bit of coaching of mom will. You're gonna let mom capture you if you move there or whatever, right?
Cool.
Yeah, that's TNT Laser Week works.
Wonderful. That's a great looking game. Okay, my number 5 is, and that is Ricochet Robot.
Okay.
Okay, this is another older game. I found this one at a thrift store. Knew nothing about it. It was like a couple bucks. So I'm like, okay. I was like just getting into board games and I was like addicted and just try to get as much as I could. So I bought it. I took it home. I'll show you what it looks like. So you have these boards, and there's a bunch of different boards. There's 4 pieces there, and
Okay.
they're double-sided, and you put 4 together, and then you have this little plastic piece in the middle that holds everything together. And then across these boards, you'll have like a symbol and color. So it's great for colorblind friendly
Right.
as well. So you put the robot on there. Okay, then you're gonna randomly take a token of the color. Well, actually, you randomly put the robots on the board. So in that case, in this example here, we have the blue token in the middle. So you got to get the blue robot to that token location. Robots can only move forward one direction, like straight lines, and they keep going until they hit something.
Okay.
Okay, and it's a maze. There's walls across there. There's other robots. So you can move multiple robots. So you got to try to say, okay, well, I'm gonna move the yellow robot here, so that cause that if I move the blue robot, it'll bounce and stop at the yellow robots. Then I can go against the wall here, and then I can go there, and I can get into. Okay, it will. Like your mind will. Okay, first few games. Be like, what?
Interesting.
What? It takes a while to get yourself to think that way.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's very thinky. But once you start thinking about it and then be like, okay, and then you're basically staring at the board until one person says, I can do it in 12 moves. And then you turn a timer and then everybody else has that much time to try to find a way of doing it in less than 12. Now there was one time I was like, 32 moves. It was ridiculous, and I tried to remember like what, but it's I love it. I love.
Sounds like
this
absolute
game.
pure chaos. I love
Oh my
it.
god! And it's just really, it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle that you play. You could play this on your own, really, if you really wanted to, just as a puzzle exercise. It's fun playing with other players. My husband will not play this with me. He's just, my mind does not work that way.
Yeah.
And he's just watched me play, basically. Right? So.
Who would watch people play games randomly?
What? I mean, I guess like you're not at the table.
Oh, hi.
But this is Ricochet Robot. I absolutely love it. I think there's other version where they have like the robots look a little bit different.
because I know that's not the same label, like the same company as the picture before. The picture before was Rio Grande.
Possibly not, yeah.
Like you can see there.
Yeah,
so
this
it's-
was Rio Grande
yeah.
here. So there's a few copies, a few versions out
Yeah.
there. But yeah, absolutely love this game. It is me and Patrick,
Really German.
my son, we love it. And then we're like, and then it's like, and it gets to be battle-y, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like whoever after has got the most token wins, right? So, and then because wherever the robots land, they stay there. Then you start the next
Right.
token, and then like the board's changed now, so it's so good. It is so good.
Neat.
So that was my number 5 Ricochet Robot.
Woo!
Okay, so number 4.
Number 4.
All right, so Dave, your number 4 is.
I believe. Yes, Pyramids.
Nice.
So, this picture is Pyramid Arcade.
There's a lot.
There is a lot. Pyramid Arcade is the big box version of this.
Yeah.
This is also a game that is
So
20
is it
some
like
years
a
old.
combination of all these smaller ones?
Yeah,
in
so
one?
there's 22 different games I think you can play with the components
my
in
God.
Pyramid Arcade.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's going to run you, $80 to $100,
I'll
give or
show you
take.
some of the
Oh, good. You have some other ones. Good.
Yeah.
So that's some of the components in Pyramid Arcade.
Yeah.
Pyramids themselves are those little triangles.
Yeah.
And they come in 3 sizes, and they each have like a little pip on them. So 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's kind of
Big,
yeah.
medium, large.
Right.
You can, depending on the game, will change the rule. You can stack them as a tree. You can nest them inside of each other.
Okay.
Like I said, there's 22 games I think in Pyramid Arcade.
Wow, it's crazy.
There's hundreds of fan-made games that are
Oh my God, yeah.
available online. There's more games that are out there. So they've also got, I don't know how many more pictures do you have on that?
This is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
So there's currently 4 to 5 other
Because which one do you
standalone.
have here with you?
All of them.
Oh my God. This is
All of them.
Pyramid Arcade.
Pyramid
as well.
Arcade. So there is Martian Chess,
Okay.
which is on that in the top leftish of that picture.
Okay. Yeah.
There's 2 versions of that. There's a silver and red. So most of the components you see there are clear. The ones in the standalone are actually opaque.
Okay.
There is Homeworlds, which is probably your best value for your money as far as the small boxes go, because you're getting several different colors of stuff. This is one of the most challenging games of the Pyramid collection.
Really?
This is almost a 4X exploration type game,
Okay. Cool. And,
but with pyramids. So you start with a star.
I mean, geez, it just looks like a thing full.
Yeah, and you're just moving across the table. Andy Looney will always play this.
Yeah, because they're Looney Labs games.
Yeah,
right?
this is all
Nice.
Looney Labs games.
Yeah.
And if you can actually beat him, he has a prize.
Oh.
I've got
I probably wouldn't.
Nomids, which again is one of the more simpler ones. This is 2 to 10 minutes, up to 10 players.
It's upside down on the other side now.
So yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's simple, and you can they actually have a complexity level at the bottom here.
Oh, that's cool.
On
Yeah.
these ones, and then Ice Duet, which is 2 different games in one. There
are lots.
Yes. There's also Zendo, which is kind of a spin-off
So
game.
that's still kind of.
It's got some of the same components, but also some other shapes.
Yeah.
There is a version of Zendo that cards for Pyramid Arcade, specifically only the pyramids.
That's a lot, yeah.
I've got several other versions that are older, like this is the current run. They just came out with Jinx,
Yeah, okay.
which I don't have a copy of because they don't ship, easily available at stores, but they don't
Yeah.
ship to reviewers in Canada.
Oh, okay.
But these
Yeah.
are all glorious. I love Martian Chess. It's one of my favorites. You play the same color.
He says, "I hope none of these are pyramids on Mars." But yeah, I guess there kind of is.
Yes. In fact, so he is a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
So and there's an episode of it that is Pyramid of Mars. And when
that's cool.
and when the link to that episode started coming out at the end of this most recent season, I reshared our review of this
Nice.
for no particular reason whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
To not spoil things. But yeah, this is one of those games you can take Pyramid Arcade out with you to wherever
Yeah.
and
you just
play an
have time
entire
to game.
weekend with just that
And different game.
and just
every
go, yeah. It's
Cool.
absolutely fabulous game system.
That's
And so
cool.
it's I mathed this the other day. I could do about 5 different top 9s just encompassing different iterations and compositions of pyramid games.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, that's cool. All right, my number 4 is, and I forget, Nova Luna. So Nova Luna came out first. Then they did, Framework is part of this series.
Okay.
So I wanted to get Nova Luna because I had played it at Gobfest and loved it, and I couldn't find a copy of Nova Luna. I got Frameworks, which plays similar, but then I've got Nova Luna after the fact as well. Now, what's interesting with Nova Luna, it's like the tile that you would pick out, I'll show you, is different because you got to move the moon along, so it's in a circle, and it kind of dwindles down until it refills. It also looks different as well because the tiles are full one color. Now, the first time I played it, I didn't realize we're trying to create clusters. I thought you had to have the... So I lost by a lot because I was not... I was like, how are we going to be able to do this?
Yeah.
But you're trying to create clusters. So if you have a cluster of 6...
Yeah.
And... Oh, so no, sorry, 6. The 6 has... The number on the tile has to do with moving,
okay,
of where the moon's going to move to. But the numbers... The beads, I guess I would call them, on the circle is what they want to be connected to cluster-wise.
Okay.
So that 7 there wants to be a touching a teal and a blue, right? So if it touch a teal and a blue, then you can put your token on that. While that number 2 wants to touch a cluster of 4 yellows.
Gotcha.
Then you can put, but it's the same thing where the first person to put all their tokens out on the board wins.
Right.
I can't remember. I think you do build your own board, and they build
Looks
their
like
own board.
you can see on there. There's a board in front of the camera, and there's one farther away. So.
But what's kind of interesting with this? So if I take the tile that has the 6, I move my token on the middle up 6 places. So I might not get to go again until I'm in the behind.
Yeah.
So then they may get to put a couple of tiles until I get to go again. So it has kind of an element plus what you're building on here. It's good. It is so interesting. It's vibrant on the table. It looks cool. I love it. So that was my number 4. We're on 4?
I think we're on 4, yeah.
Nova Luna. I'm assuming you haven't played this one either.
No, I have not.
Nice.
This is what I'm loving this because there's a handful that we both know, but a lot of them aren't, which has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we're kind of getting a good variety for sure. All right, so now we're on number 3.
Number 3. So at this point, I know what I'm at. It was just those last couple that I wasn't sure because I reordered things. These were fairly easy. So number 3 for me is Shobu.
Nice.
Also Smirk and Dagger. So this, we talked about Boop earlier. Boop was... There's a more abstract version of Boop that exists as a print and play, but he basically designed that as a sort of a spiritual sequel to Shobu.
Okay. Now Shobu is a very simplistic looking game, and I'll just bring up the game.
But again, very, very thinky, as a good abstract strategy is. Now this is clearly mid-game. So the rope is the divider between players.
Okay.
Okay, so just to help with that. Each of those boards starts with 4 white, 4 black stones in the same, on all 4. You will always make 2 moves on your turn. Have you played Shobu?
No.
Okay, I have it. We can do this.
Wow, there you go.
Shocking, right? So you make a passive move. You move one of your stones on one of your 2 boards, 1 or 2 spaces in any direction. Diagonals included. Then you make an aggressive move, which is played on the opposite color of board on either side of that rope.
Okay.
So if I played on my dark board, I could then make the same my next move on my opponent's light board. The trick is with that aggressive move is doesn't have to be the same stone, but it has to be the same direction and number of spaces.
Okay.
So if I move a stone 2 spaces straight ahead, I pick any of my other stones and move 2 spaces ahead. The passive move cannot push other stones. The aggressive move can and ultimately should.
Okay.
That is because the goal of the game is to push all of your opponent's rocks off of any one of those 4 boards. So you're playing 2 games at a time times 2.
Okay, yeah.
Which is what really kind of messes with your head because you have to look at you always have to be looking at all 4 of these boards.
Yeah.
I've managed to play in the state championships in Nevada and Utah. Almost, I was like one move difference between winning and losing when I lost in Nevada. And Utah has a family that just practices this like competitive chess.
Oh, no way. Okay, cool.
They're some of the top players in the world, and they just all kind of crush everybody below them.
I mean, I think it's such an interest because it's pebbles,
yep,
planks of wood, and a rope. Like, it is very simplistic looking.
Yeah, and it is stones. These aren't like plastic piece hunks.
No,
these are like polished stones. They're irregular. Every game is going to be different. They just here's a big
like the tactile and it's kind of cool element of the different textures. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
Super simple, but really thinky, as good games should be.
Shobu.
And that's Shobu from Smirk and Dagger / Smirk and Laughter.
Nice. Okay. So my number 3. I'm not sure which one of the. Okay, I was hoping it was this one. Quattro.
I've seen this one.
I call it Quattro.
I think it's
but
Quattro.
It's Quarto, because the R is on the other side. Quarto.
Oh yeah, it would be Quarto. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I keep saying unless there's like it's a
no.
different version.
I think you're right.
But yeah,
we're just yeah.
This one, and this is the version I have here. So it looks like this. Now, first of all, on the table, it's pretty. It's so neat. Have you played this one?
No, I made play like a demo of it at a convention or something.
Because this one is very simple.
I don't exist.
You're trying to get 4 in a row that has a similar aspect to it.
Okay.
So either 4 tall, 4 short, 4 white wood, or 4 dark wood, or 4 solid, or 4 that has like a hollow portion to it. The trick is, I hand you your piece. You hand me my piece. So you control what they're gonna play next, and they decide where to put it.
All the time.
All the time.
Okay.
I always pick your piece, you always pick my piece. But eventually it's like, darn it, I'm giving them the winning piece. Maybe they don't see it. But, it's like, or maybe like, okay, great, I'm giving this one. It turns out it was a winning piece you just did not realize, right? It's just so interesting, that whole, okay, what can I give them that's not going to be helpful?
Yeah.
So that's super cool. I really, really enjoy that. And that is, Quarto, whatever,
Man.
Quarto, whatever it's called. It's really good.
And it's an Italian company, which doesn't make it easier.
Yeah. So that is my number 3. Perfect. So now we're on number 2.
Number 2, we've seen before. My number 2 is Boop.
Yes. Now I put a different
You
one
put a
on
different
this
one
one.
in. You put the new one in.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So again, we've talked about this one already. Great way for us to catch up on the time. Boop.
But let's have a look at what Boop the Hall looks like.
Yeah, so this is the 3D version I was telling you. So you've got layers of this.
Oh, that's gonna be
and those little discs are guess what they are?
Gifts.
No, they're the ornaments.
That they
you can
knock
off
down?
the tree. Yeah.
Of course.
And like I said, there's a couple of expansions that come with this, but you can see the cats are different on this than they are on the other original.
Right.
These ones are wintry. So
and it's not all full squares. Like the bottom one has only.
You probably can't quite see it as well on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all the same. They're all squares. There's just a little bit of outline.
There's corners. Oh, is the corner? Can you go in the corner?
I honestly don't know.
Right. This is a brand new one that's just
exactly.
come out.
I don't think I've even played it on a 4th level. I think I've only ever seen it on. I think I may have only seen the 3 levels of it.
Okay, yeah.
So
cool. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, they had a very limited release at Gen Con a couple weeks ago.
So did you see it?
I've seen the prototypes and stuff over the past year and a bit.
Here's a question. Could you remove the top 2 layers and play with just the square?
I don't know what's under those, but in theory, yes.
Right.
In theory, you just need a grid.
Right.
You
So
could
I'm
use a
wondering if they
chessboard
made
if you
it
had
so
to.
that you could play the original.
Yeah.
Or you could play the.
Exactly. I just don't physically know what's under those pieces, but it is just a grid, right?
It
so
looks
this is
like it
still
would
4
work.
pieces. This is still just 2x2, 3x3. Like it's meant to
it's
be.
cool. It looks cute.
Yeah.
It does look super cool.
Or maybe that's a 1. I don't know.
It's a 1,
Either way,
yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
You could play this 2-dimensionally, yes. But
That's kind of cool. It would add, like, even though it's still the same, it would add such a level of complexity.
Yeah.
Just to bend your mind that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Very
I'm
cool.
super excited. I'll have my. They will be sending me a copy of that, so it'll be
Nice.
part of this year's holiday series
Nice.
for sure.
For sure. Well, yeah, this one has to be. Like, it's perfect for Christmas.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, so that was your number 2.
That was my number
number 2, I don't remember. So it's going to be a surprise for all of us. Tuki. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Tuki. I don't know where I bought this one. I bought this one secondhand from a friend. expected absolutely nothing, and I was like, the box looks cute, sure, I'll buy that one. That sometimes that's all it takes for me to get a game. But this game it impressed me the first time I played it. So here's what's gonna happen. You get a card that you put up. Everybody has the same pieces, and you put the card up, and you got to get your piece to mimic what is shown there. Now you have the white pieces that allows you to kind of be like blank space.
Okay.
Right? So you can put that on there. But it has to be level, like it has to hold, and it has to, and sometimes everything has to be not touching the table. Right? So then you have to start with a white piece and build up on that as well. And it's trying to get the combination to work to kind of create this image of what is on the card. And you roll the dice, and the dice is going to determine the orientation of the card. So that's going to change as well, which way it's going to go, how you need to close everything together. And it's a speed game. The first one to do it. Oh, I love it. I
hate speed games.
Love this one though.
I can understand why that would, but yeah.
I mean, like, it's so neat. It's so neat. You're playing with blocks.
Yeah. You need to see Block and Key from Inside Up games.
Okay.
It's similar to this, but it's two-tiered, and you're looking at it this way. So everyone who's sitting around the table is trying to build the same thing using the same hunk of bricks, but on their own plane.
But it's not okay. Yeah, so that one would be interesting
neat,
as well. But yeah, Tuki, I thought it was cool.
I like it. I mean, I don't like speed games, but I like it in general.
Yeah, it's just such a neat, interesting looking one. I quite enjoyed that one. And that was my number 2. So now we're on the final number 1.
Yes.
Cream of the crop as far as abstract strategy games are. And let's go to yours. So
mine
you're
is
number 1.
TAK. T-A-K, TAK. This is Patrick Rothfuss, the King Killer Chronicles.
Okay.
Name of the Wind. I think it's the first book. It comes... or is it the second book? Anyways, yes, that's the second book. Wise Man Fear, I think, is the first one. Yeah, but anyways,
it's based on a book.
First. It's based on a book, and
So
James
the
Ernest.
Game based on abstract game based on a book.
Yeah. So James Ernest from Cheap Ass Games.
Yeah.
Went to Patrick Roth and says, "I want to make this game."
Okay.
No. I want to make this game. No, you can't. Not that I don't want you to. I don't have enough information in the book for anyone to do this. Let me do it. Fine. You made my game.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was great.
So what does this game look like?
So this is a game, again, I can teach this in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And there's a level above most. You will competitively, you will play this with a chess timer.
Okay.
You have to, your goal is to get a road of flat stones from one end of the board to the other. Does not matter which version.
Okay.
And it does not have to be a straight line. It can be as jagged as you want, no diagonals.
Yeah.
You must place all your pieces into an open space, but from there you can move them. So you can actually create a stack. You can see that on the screen there.
I see that.
You can pick this all or some of the stack up and drop stuff.
Okay.
You don't have to leave something in the first space that you pick up from, unless there's too many in that space. And then you have to drop at least one in everything else. Whoever's on top controls the stack.
Okay. Okay.
You can place those same pieces on their end to create a wall. Walls can take over a stack, can't be stacked upon, are never part of your road. Walls can only be knocked down by a capstone. You only have one of those. That is part of your road, cannot be stacked upon. It's the super piece. Still has to be played into an open space and then can move. Okay. That's the rules. That's an ugly version without actually going with the thing. There are 3 retail and 1 common version of this.
There's a few, I was trying to pick something that looked like...
So that one is the... Oops, I dropped the extra version. That's okay. Somewhere there's a carabiner. There we go.
There we go.
So you don't even need a board to play this. There are coins. Again, you can't get these anymore. These came out with the original. But if you place one of this down on the center of your table, that's your middle piece. There's a square, there's a square, there's a square, there's a square.
Okay.
And you just visualize
Okay.
a grid from there. If you wanted to do a grid 4x4, because you can do this in any size grid.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, and this becomes a center cross.
Oh, of that cross.
Or
Okay,
you could just do a straight up just coin as your center point.
Okay.
That version on the screen is the University Edition.
Okay.
That is the smaller version. That's the retail version of their Tavern set,
Okay.
which was a convention exclusive. It's smaller. It was sold bag and components, no board, but they also sold cloth boards, which is tucked at the bottom.
Right.
Cloth boards, just on that you could, so that have a grid on
So
it.
that have the grid.
And so I got a bunch of those. So this became that. The first version has bigger pieces of different sizes.
Yeah. Yeah, with you.
And then the current version is the second edition, which is from
And that's
Greater
the one
Than
I have
Games.
in the picture.
And this one's got slightly different artwork inside and outside.
Yeah.
A slightly fancier
Gameplay
inside.
is the
Gameplay
same.
is exactly the same.
Okay.
Rumor has it they are working on a third edition
Ooh.
that it will be different again, but again, should have the same
Right.
gameplay.
Okay.
When this released,
Yeah.
by the time it released, there was already a U.S. TAC Association
Okay, yeah.
nonprofit that was running tournaments. There was a world championship. There's a website called playtac.com that is run by the U.S. TAC Association. You can play online. You don't have to be American to be part of this. The next tournament for TAC, they have a beginners tournament.
Okay.
The registration for that tournament on playtac.com, I think, ends on Monday, possibly Sunday. So you can go over to look up playtac.com or US TAC Association and learn the game online and then go buy it. Any version you want. There's a
version.
And just for the record, yes, I do have the university one there as well.
Oh my god! Yeah, you have them all.
Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have 4 versions and
Of
I
the
have more
same
of
game?
these. Yes, I can and have run tournaments. I used to run demos for cheap ass
Nice.
games,
Oh, okay,
so
nice.
I quite literally can run full tournaments with this.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I have walked in.
Just says get Dave's the game master.
I very rarely don't have this on me or nearby me.
It's like I travel with a crib board.
Yeah.
All the time. So,
I demoed this at a convention where just after Greater Than Games took over the license.
Yeah.
They just had like a display and a retailer was there looking at it. I'm like, oh yeah, I answered a couple of questions. Oh, I can show you that. And then their marketing person walks up from a meeting or whatever she was at, and were you just demoing TAC at my booth? Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then I wandered back to what I was doing.
Very cool. So
That's
that
what happened.
was
The
your
thing
number
got
one.
tied.
Oh, it came.
That's
yeah.
why. That's why
That would
happens.
do it.
Yes.
So
Your number one. Your number
yeah,
one.
my number one. Let's have a look. My number one is Power Plants.
Power Plants.
I am impressed.
I've seen, but
with
have
that
not.
game.
I've seen this at conventions. I've not played it.
And I have
want
the
to.
deluxe copy that is super cool. So each players have like sprites or something, whatever you have in a different shape. Otherwise, it's just colored cubes, right? So, and then you have these tiles. Well, let me show you. You have these wooden tiles that just kind of fits together, and there's different patterns, different colors for each plant that's in play. Now, each time you play, you're gonna randomly or pick different abilities for each, and you're not gonna use all of them. So there's gonna change from game to game as to which plants is used and which ability is gonna be used for that plant. Each plant has one of 2 powers. You have the first power that I will add this plant here and I can activate this plant to do this. Or you have the secondary power where I will add this here, but I'm going to activate the secondary power of all the plants I'm touching. And it's kind of an area control as well, because you're trying to create these clusters and you're trying to put your sprites or kind of token on there, and whoever has the majority of it is going to score that cluster at the end of the game.
Is there a specific plant that is best against the zombies? Oh wait, wrong game. Sorry, wrong game. Never mind.
Wrong game.
Please continue.
And you build this up, and then as you You kind of decide where you're placing it. Yeah, I'm playing.
We're playing the game over here in non-existent space. Again.
I do this. Just
we both do this.
But it's just, and then you have your tiles of what you have available to add, and then you draw from the bag and you get the next one, and then you decide what you have. Are you going to activate them? And then activating the plant itself tends to be a bit more powerful than activate everything it's touching as a secondary action. But I played it the first time, me and Carla, and I was like, whoa, okay, let's do this again. And then we played, I think, a couple of times, and then I've played it again, you know, with my husband, and I'm like, wow, I really like this game. Now, I've heard negative reviews with it because you do have to refer back to the card as to what the ability of the plant's going to be, right? Because there's all these different plants that's in play. There's the main ability, the secondary ability, so you do have to kind of refer back. And some people was like, it was too confusing, it was too much, but it's all right there. It's not like so. And then you have to kind of pick from what's in front of you anyways, so you're not having to look at every single one of them every time, but be like, okay. And then like placing the tile, which ability you're gonna affect. Now maybe placing it here, it's only touching another one, so I may not want to do the secondary because I'm only doing a secondary on one plant. So I may want it, but maybe that's would be the benefit for moving what I want to move. So it's thinky, it's puzzly, it's beautiful. And it can be mean.
Yeah.
You know, like it's cutthroat a little bit. But I absolutely love this game.
And like I said, I've seen it, I have not played it, and the picture does not do it justice.
Oh, but
it is
I was trying
so
to
much brighter and more vibrant
This is
than
actually a picture of my table. This is a game I played of it.
Okay.
And yeah, because it shows like the numbers on the tile, and that plays into what, so good.
And the company, the kids board game table.
Yeah.
It has a lot of great games and some several by Roberta Taylor, who we were talking about earlier.
Because Capybaras has just come out. I've played her copy a couple of times. It's starting, I think, to come out Kickstarter. Yeah. So I haven't got. Well, no, not because it didn't kickstart it.
No, that one's not Kickstarter.
It went straight to retail.
Yeah, that one's just
But
out.
it was available at Gen Con, so some people got it. I haven't got my copy yet. I'm on a pre-order with Palmetto Way, so I'm just waiting for it to come, and then I can have it. But I've played it as beautiful. Mackie Masters is delivering right now, I believe. Yeah. So I'm super excited, which is a remake of Wasabi. KTBG, honestly, first of all, I'm going to love the components. I'm going to love the whole aesthetic of the game. But yeah, this one is one of my favorite of their game. So Power Plants, that's my number one for my abstract strategy games.
Boom!
So this is it for our list. We're gonna call it quits, go play some more games, maybe grab some food, who knows. Next
you got 40 minutes till your next one?
Yeah. So the next one we're playing is Battle Bake, I believe.
Battle Bake.
Battle Bake. So we're going to be doing a live playthrough of Battle Bake. They're actually here at FallCon. They have a booth. They're showcasing it. It was on Kickstarter. It's funded. It's done.
Yep.
And it looks it looks adorable.
Cute.
It looks so adorable. Your player board is like your kitchen, and you have your stove and your ovens, and I don't know, I haven't played it yet, so I'm going to be playing in about 40 minutes, so I'm super excited to seeing what that's going to be like.
If you pop over to my channel, therathole.ca on YouTube, and go to my vendor walkthrough, it's in the later half of that, because I actually got some nice close-ups of some of their stuff, so you can take a quick look and go, oh my god, this is great, and then come watch Mel play.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see if there's a seat left.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't checked. So, because I only have room for 4. Yeah. But yeah, so definitely.
I can play later if need be. I'm here all weekend. We're both here all weekend.
Yes. Okay. Well, thanks so much for tuning in.
And if there's anything you want to see us play, like over the course of the weekend, put it in the chat. Doesn't even have to be ones that we've mentioned.
I did do a video of the library earlier, so you can see what's on the library as well.
And it's easy to get. You get that on the website, FallCon website as well. They've got, I think, a list. But let us know, and we will both do our best to try and make that happen for you.
Sounds great. Yeah, perfect. Bye, everybody.
And now we push the button.
And then we push the next button.